Hello, good day. Today I'm going to try to deliver a message to you. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible, and I just require a little bit of your attention. I guarantee you will like what I have to say, and you won't be disappointed. Just give me a little time. So just to give you a little summary of what I'm talking about. Today, we know the elections is coming upon us shortly in Trinidad and Tobago. And what we have to realize is a very simple thing, very simple. And that is that we do not have to vote for any of the representatives that the parties put forward for you to vote for. You might think that is your only choice, but it's not your only choice. So I'm going to show you an alternative to that. Because those representatives that the parties put forward to you and your constituency are not your representatives. They are the party's representatives. These people are loyal to their party. They are loyal to the dictates of the leader of the party, and if they're in government, that will be the prime minister at the time. These people are not loyal to the people. They are loyal to the party. And what I'm going to propose is a system whereby you, as a citizen in your constituency, take a decision to elect an independent candidate who needs to rise up from your communities and who will rise up from your communities, who will represent you in Parliament in changing these antiquated laws that we have and initiating new laws. And doing so together in consultation with you, the citizen, and you, the communities of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what I'm going to show you here today. And I'll explain it for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Not too much. You don't have to know too much about me. I want you to really listen to the message. And let me just be the messenger. I'm not here to establish a political party, and I don't want any power. What I want to do is empower the people. And it's high time we do so. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Philip Franco, and I am a naturopathic practitioner here in Trinidad and Tobago. I've been practicing for over 20 years, almost 30 years. And I am mostly a medical herbalist, so most of my practice deals with herbs. These are my lovely herbal extracts here. This is my dispensary from which I dispense from. And to give you a little insight into what I'm telling you today, because I'm not telling you about health, and I'm not telling you about herbs today. Today I'm telling you that we need a better governance system. Because what we have is not working. How did I arrive at this point in coming here today to tell you about a governance system? So I was in Australia in the 80s. I went there to seek a better life and try a different place of abode. And when I was there, I found things to work very nice. I found things were relatively easy to do. If I had to go and get my driver's permit and do a test, it was so much easier. Anything I had to do with the government or transportation, anything I had to do was a lot easier. And it really, I experienced it. It was nice. It wasn't this hardship, and anyway, that's a different topic. Because I refer to Trinidad as purgatory, but I'll talk about that maybe later. So in in experiencing this ease of doing things and enjoying the niceties of life there, I was missing my home Trinidad, because I'm a Trinidadian. I'm Trini to the bone. I was born here in Oxford Street. And something happened. I started to notice a few things that they were doing there that made sense. And then I started to get ideas on how we could possibly do things a little better. And what were the things that were wrong in Trinidad and Tobago? What was causing this state of purgatory in this land of Trinidad? What was causing it? And so I got these ideas, and I said, hey, that's a good idea. But I want to remember this idea, so let me write it down. So I started to write down these ideas. I was a young lad, I was in my 20s. I was a spray painter. So I'd be preparing a car to paint that might work, and I'd get an idea, and I'd go and write it down on my spray painting bench where I mix my paints and so forth. And long story short, I had a shoebox of ideas, and I came back to Trinidad in early 1990, and I called it a plan for Trinidad and Tobago, and I thought I'd just show it to the people. Well, little did I know how hard that task would be, because now it's over 30 years. I've tried little things, but there's always the negativity, and people say, boy, Franco, boy, you think you're going to change them people, boy? Go and do your work, boy. Go and see about yourself, boy. So I did my work, and every now and then when I get a little bit angry, I try to do a little something or share a little something. I've been doing a few lectures. I've had some people come. Most everybody likes my lecture on this new system. There's nobody that hasn't liked it. They always want to know, well, how does it work? Because it's so different. Well, not all that different. Many of the structures we have, we can use. So, I have named this the Manifesto of the Alternative System. Because it's somewhat of a manifesto. It's an ideology. Like how Karl Marx, I suppose, wrote his Manifesto of Communism. He wrote of an ideology and was taken and was adopted. But this system is not communism, it's not particularly socialism. It's people-centric. And it's upgrading the democracy that we have, that seems to have gone astray. So we're almost going back to basics. Today we know, even before this COVID, that the economy was bad. The economy has been getting bad with the low oil prices and so forth for some time, and the mismanagement of our economy. We know that crime is terrible, has been, increasing and increasing. I fear to think that when this lockdown is unlocking, how these criminals who have been locked up, what if they're going to pose a problem? So, anyway, most government institutions, you have to just bear with me because this is I normally do this in a lecture hall. Today I'm trying to modify it for putting it out there for everybody to be able to access this. So I have my notes here which I'm going to try to refer, and also we're going to try to impose some slides on this. So bear with me as I look down at some of my notes and try to modify it to this type of presentation. So the economy is bad, the crime is bad, the government institutions are not run properly, total mismanagement, they don't really serve us adequately. We have antiquated laws. I can tell you, I was looking at the Summary Offences Act the other day, and you can beat a man to a pulp. You can beat a man to a pulp. Once you don't kill him, and the fine is $1,000 and 6 months in jail. Right? So many laws need upgrading. But we need to take our time and make laws, because when I see them fixing some of these laws here, they're not taking their time. There are many loopholes in the laws, and sometimes it's not appropriate, it's not adequate. They're rushing it. Anyway. And then we have no regard for the laws. So we're making laws and making laws and making laws. We couldn't even police the existing laws. Now we're making more laws for COVID. Don't congregate more than 5. Don't go in without washing hands. Wear masks, all kind of total control, and we can't even control what we were trying to control before. So I don't know how we're doing it. Anyway, in the present system, we know we have our problems. We have nepotism, cronyism, squandermania. Squandermania, and I'm going to talk about that. There will be a video right after this that is going to talk about an economic plan. Right? Part of an economic plan. My suggestions. Have a look at it. It's different. But remember, this whole concept that I'm providing is for participation of the people. So it's not one person, it's not my plan in its entirety. But it's a plan to accommodate the participation of people, bringing their ideas, their discussions, their solutions, and to come up with a consensus or majority vote or referendum, whatever you want to call it. So we have so much scandals, we have so much things going on that the media can't keep up with it, the policing can't keep up with it, the courts can't keep up with it, and by the time a week passes, we forget that because we have 10 more scandals to deal with, right? While the politicians live as kings.